The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Unrest at BPL. A dispute erupts over overtime. And the workers' union filing a trade dispute. They say they want the chairman gone. The taxi cab union threatening industrial action. And the attorney general says he hopes the Court Services Council will take steps to mitigate against power outages. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, August 13th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning in business, we're talking with Benchmark about their joint venture with Override. They'll explain all of that to us. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. The overnight, as power woes continue in the country, a new crisis has erupted at BPL, Bahamas Power and Light. The Electrical Workers Union, and its president Kyle Wilson says that his union has filed a trade dispute with the Ministry of Labor against BPL after a policy by the board on overtime was implemented on Monday. Wilson says the policy is a disgrace, his word, and called for the resignation of BPL Executive Chair Christina Alston. He's saying the BPL board is trying to dictate to the union. He says, quote, "It will not happen," and the union is calling for the immediate removal of Mrs. Christina Alston as the chairman of BPL because it appears she's also the chairman of Bahamas Grid Company because she's only working for the best interest of the third-party PGC deal. A BPL spokesperson telling the NASA Guardian that Alston had no comment on the matter. The policy, dated August 31st, 2025, establishes clear guidelines for overtime work at BPL, but Wilson said the old policy by the board, which was only made known to the union on Monday, breaches the industrial agreement with the union. Meanwhile, after power cuts led to the closure of parts of the Supreme Court in New Providence on Tuesday, Attorney General Wayne Monroe says he is confident that the Court Services Council will take action to ensure that future outages do not create delays within the system. His comments coming after Bar Association President Khalil Parker said that the persistent outages have adversely impacted the courts and disrupted the administration of justice. Monroe says the judiciary has its independence structurally to them during the last administration and that the Court Services Council deals with that. He says that from what he can gather, they had backup generators, but they might have had issues. The Bahamas Taxi Cab Union is threatening to take industrial action after Union President Tyrone Butler claimed that a deal made with the government for livery drivers to be restricted from the international arrival door at Lyndon Pilling International Airport was not honored. At a press conference yesterday, Butler said that a meeting was held between himself, TUC President Obie Ferguson, and other executives, along with Tourism Minister Glenn Santa Martin, to discuss long-standing concerns surrounding livery drivers who enter taxi lines. This meeting is said to have taken place on last week Wednesday. He says that they reached an agreement that would have allowed for livery drivers to be removed from the arrival door of the airport and placed in a more strategic place behind the taxi lines, and that they accepted that arrangement, and that they left the meeting with the understanding that the arrangement would take effect Monday. But Butler says the arrangement did not happen, adding that the taxi cab union initially objected to the date as the union wished for the arrangement to be put in place from last week Friday. However, when it was stated that Friday was unfeasible, the union agreed to the arrangement, which would only allow for taxi drivers to stand at the door and for any livery bookings to be prearranged at the tourism desk upstairs in the airport in the arrival section. Butler says that when taxi drivers arrived at the airport on Monday, they found that livery drivers had not been informed of the new agreement, and members of their union, the Livery Drivers Union, were parked at the airport, briefly limiting access to the taxi cab drivers. After Central Grand Bahama MP Frazette Gibson raised concern over the relocation of the Rand Memorial Hospital's Accident and Emergency Department, the Public Hospitals Authority announcing that temporary relocation was undertaken to facilitate renovations. The PHA in a statement says that the A&E has been moved to Med-Surg 3, that building, which is adjacent to the hospital cafeteria and can be accessed through the Rand's main entrance via East Mall Drive. Gibson, an F&M MP, said in a video posted on social media on Tuesday that she was disheartened that the situation was unacceptable. In a press statement, Gibson raised serious and immediate concerns about patient safety, capacity, and accountability. The PHA saying yesterday that the relocation will facilitate essential facility renovations and that emergency services remain fully operational and uninterrupted during the period. A woman admitted to stealing over $61,000 while working as a store manager. 42-year-old Ulysses Miller of Ferguson Way could spend 2.5 years behind bars if she fails to pay a $10,000 fine and repay the stolen cash. Miller, who worked at Banana Bay and Carabongo, owned by Solpin and Pinsol Investments, stole $61,391.11 between June and July of 2025. Miller was responsible for preparing sales tallies and deposits when she swiped the money. Miller, who had previously denied the accusations, admitted to stealing by reason of employment when she appeared before Senior Magistrate Kendra Wims yesterday. She's been given time to pay the fines and compensation. She has to pay $1,000. She had to pay $1,000 last week and another $4,000 by October. Subsequently, she will make monthly payments of $500. And the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs says it will work to assess and correct the deteriorating conditions of the ferry in Exuma. The bridge connects Great and Little Exuma. Following the decline of the bridge, images and videos circulating on social media, the ministry says it takes a concern seriously and wishes to ensure residents that the condition of the bridge is known to the technical team and remains a priority for the government. Overseas, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says that the recently inaugurated government of Colombian President Abelardo de la Espriella has requested U.S. collaboration in joint military operations in Colombia to combat narco-terrorism. During a meeting of the so-called America's Counter Council Coalition in Panama, Hegseth said Colombia would also join the Shield of the Americas initiative, becoming its 19th member. The initiative emerged from a March summit with U.S. President Donald Trump and Latin American countries that sought to join forces in fighting drug cartels. Colombia's then-President Gustavo Petro was not invited to that meeting. The government of De La Espriella, who was sworn in last week, is known as El Tigre, or the Tiger, and did not immediately comment on the announcement in Panama, but the conservative leader has previously said his administration would join the U.S. initiative. The ongoing Ebola outbreak in Congo is on track to surpass the deadliest one in history, which erupted over a decade ago and killed over 11,000 people. According to the World Health Organization, at its current pace, it's on track to eclipse the West Africa Ebola outbreak of 2014 to 2016. The outbreak in eastern Congo, considered the fastest growing one yet, has killed over 2,000 people so far out of more than 4,300 cases. The outbreak was declared on May 15th, but health authorities now say sequencing showed it began months earlier in February. After nearly 2 weeks on the road with her five in Somalia, is concerned about what could happen next. Drought conditions has forced many to leave towns in the middle of the Middle Juba region. About 2 million people are facing emergency levels of food insecurity, more than double the number recorded last year, according to Plan International, an organization providing assistance to more than 200,000 people in Somalia this year. The humanitarian group and Somalia's disaster management agency are calling for increased international assistance, with concern that the crisis could be compounded by another climate shock later this year. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization has projected a greater than 90% probability of El Niño conditions developing from mid-2026 and intensifying during Somalia's October to December rainy season, bringing the severe risk of flooding. Somalia, highly vulnerable to extreme weather, and has experienced repeated cycles of prolonged drought followed by destruction. The shocks have eroded livelihoods, displaced communities, contributed to disease outbreaks, and worsened food insecurity. And large parts of Western Europe sweltering once again, with Britain and France entering their fifth heat wave on an exceptional summer that's threatening to break even more records. Forecasters in the UK are predicting the mercury will rise as high as 38 Celsius or 100 Fahrenheit in central and southeast England, potentially making it the hottest day of the year. The highest temperature this year was recorded on June 26th, when the temperature hit 38 Celsius in eastern England. The UK's Met Office said earlier this week that only average conditions were needed for the rest of August to beat last year's record for the hottest year ever. Temperatures in France, meanwhile, are even higher, reaching 104 Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius in central and southern areas, and as high as 38 Celsius in Paris. The summer has shown that both Britain and France are ill-equipped to deal with these levels of heat. Air conditioning is a rarity outside of shops and offices. In Britain, it emerged Thursday that working has been particularly difficult in hospitals, where nurses have been known to collapse from heat exhaustion. And like many parts of Europe, Britain and France are facing widespread drought conditions that have shriveled crops and drained rivers, heaping pressure on water resources for households, agriculture, and the environment, and forcing government and water users to seek both short and long-term measures to mitigate the effects of human-caused climate change.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, the Bombs' 12 and under baseball team fighting a good fight, but ultimately coming up short against Caribbean 12 and under. That team in the international quarterfinals of the 2026 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. That's the team out of Puerto Rico. The team entered the elimination playoffs with a 3-1 win-loss record, matching Caribbean 12 and under team's record, but was defeated 9-3 in 6 innings. Bombers, represented by players from Freedom Farm League, closed out the tournament with wins in 3 of their 5 games. The playoff game was competitive early on, with both teams trying to establish their footing. But the Caribbean representative got on the board first and kept on going. Team losing again 9-3. 9-3 yesterday. And the Bombers Football Association has announced the players and staff selected to represent the country at the 2026 Caribbean Football Union Under-14 Challenge Series Boys, scheduled for August 16th through 23rd in Dominican Republic. Team Bahamas will depart August 14th and return on the 24th, with the squad currently completing its final preparations ahead of regional competition. The Bombers will compete in the Tier 2 Group C alongside Anguilla, Guyana, and Montserrat. The group stage schedule will feature the Bahamas August 16th, Montserrat on the 17th, and Guyana on the 19th. From the NBA, you've probably heard about it already. The LA Lakers are being sold for the second time in a year, going to businessmen Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record-breaking price. The sale agreement is $12.5 billion. ESPN first reported that Kushner and Iger are buying the NBA's most valuable franchise. The Lakers were valued at $10 billion last year, a record for a pro sports team. That was when Mark Walter purchased a controlling stake from the Buss family, which had owned the team since 1979. Kushner, a venture capitalist, and former Walt Disney Company CEO Iger have been working together on landing a possible NBA expansion team for Las Vegas. By buying the Lakers, they don't have to wait until the possibility of expansion in the 2028-29 season at the earliest. The $12.5 billion price tag is not only a record for U.S. pro sports, but a new summit in skyrocketing NBA franchise values. Only 3 years ago, Michael Jordan sold his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets for a $3 billion valuation, while the Boston Celtics were sold last year to private equity mogul Bill Chisholm at a valuation of just over $6 billion. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. So we've got another heat advisory for the entire country today. Take all necessary precautions and hydrate. Stay out of the sun if you can during peak sunshine hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Another day with triple-digit heat indices. So troughing near the northern Bahamas will support showers and thunderstorms of that part of the country today, while the northern end of a tropical wave passing across the southeastern islands will produce an increase in shower activity there. As that wave moves northwestward, though, the showers and thunderstorms expected to spread into the central Bahamas by later this afternoon. For today, there is a moderate risk of rip currents for the southeast Bahamas. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution along eastern shorelines and Atlantic exposed beaches. And with UV indices expected to be in the very high to extreme range. And there is a marginal to moderate risk for isolated strong to possibly severe thunderstorms over the northernmost islands and the southeast Bahamas today. So your forecast for today for the and central Bahamas, we're looking at a mix of clouds turning variably cloudy tonight for the northwestern islands, fair tonight for the central islands, The northernmost islands and the southeastern islands seeing partly cloudy conditions today. Rain chances vary based on the region. For the extreme northern islands, a 30% chance of isolated showers, decreasing to 20 to 30% by this afternoon. 10 to 30% chance for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, with isolated thunderstorms possible, including New Providence. A 20 to 30% chance of showers with possible thunderstorms for the central Bahamas, and a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the southeastern islands. Winds southeast to south at 10 knots or less for the northernmost islands, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the northwest and central islands, and 15 to 20 knots for the southeastern Bahamas. High temperatures today getting up to around 92, 93 Fahrenheit, 33, 34 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's anywhere between 104 and 108 Fahrenheit. 40 to 42 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to between 82 and 84 Fahrenheit, about 28 to 29 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's tops in your home. For fresh news and smart talk all day, Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
At RBC, we think it's, and sometimes to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees, and with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit.com/loans today. Your idea of getting there happens here. Conditions apply, subject to normal lending criteria.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambition.
Orthopedics, where movement becomes medicine and treatments become triumphs. At Cleveland Clinic, it's more than just repair. It's how we put ourselves back together to reconstruct, rehabilitate, and restore the things that give us life. The future of orthopedics is already in motion. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Cool. I just paid my insurance premium online.
That is cool. But how about an insurance portal that does that and more? NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have so much more than just a payment portal. You have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Wendy's is spicing things up this summer with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. A hot, juicy beef patty topped with spicy jalapenos, creamy ranch sauce, melted cheese, and fresh toppings for the perfect balance of cool and spicy. Every bite brings both you coming back for more. Turn up the flavor with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger at Wendy's today. Available for a limited time only.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global medicine.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your television, Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Strachan, join me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne Gardner, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to our listeners.
Hope you're doing well.
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I feel like I just heard you on the radio yesterday. I mean, time is going by so fast.
You heard me yesterday
What?
on the radio.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You heard me yesterday.
Did I really? Wow.
Yes, I co-hosted Z Live with Shivago Lang.
Oh, my good friend Shivago Lang.
You know that.
That's
yes.
wonderful. That's beautiful. Hope you had a great time.
I absolutely did.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad that you could be with us this morning. Your rightful spot, your usual spot. Okay.
No.
Huh?
You said what you believe is exactly what you said before you corrected.
No, both are right. The rightful and usual.
My rightful spot.
Both are right. Anyway, always a pleasure. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about this morning, including and find out more about the joint venture between, Bahamas Override, what that's all about, and we're going to get the details about that this morning. Good. Yeah, sounds pretty interesting. So that's ahead, but there is a whole lot going on in the news. And in the news, I just want to say, if you don't hear me speak for a bit, if there's like silence for a bit, it's because I've passed out. The studio, something's going on in here. It's a sauna today, and we're having some.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, our breaker keeps tripping or something, and so it's probably approaching 100 right now. I mean, get to what you think it's hotter than that? Producer says, huh? Oh, wow. So it's hotter. If it were hotter, I'd be breathing. But, okay, so it's going to be an interesting morning. So keep that in mind. Yeah? Okay. All right. So, unrest at BPL, that's not related to the power outages. That's something else. That's a dispute on overtime payments. And the taxi cab union threatening industrial action. Well, so, boy, the more things change, the more things stay the same around here, right? We'll get to those two stories in a bit. But we were talking about this yesterday, about the outages affecting the courts and the Supreme Court on Tuesday, and a number of other courts having to shut down because there was no power. And the backup generators, the generators failed in some instances and caused lots of problems, causing delays on some cases and more. So there are a couple interesting stories here. In The Guardian today, Attorney General Wayne Monroe is speaking. He says, according to Rachel Scott, the closure of parts of the Supreme Court on Tuesday, Attorney General Wayne Monroe says he's confident that the Court Services Council will take action to ensure that future outages do not create delays in the system. So his comments coming after Bahamas Bar Association President Khalil Parker said that the persistent outages have adversely impacted the courts and disrupted the administration of justice. So Monroe says, quote, the judiciary has its independence given structurally to them during the last administration. The Court Services Council deals with that. From what I can gather, they had backup generators that may have had issues. The court is an organization just like any other, subject to power disruption. And you generally make provisions for backup power. The courts have been disrupted before for any number of reasons during the course of ACs not working, plumbing not working. Anytime is time that you back. But I'm confident that the judiciary and the Court Services Council range with their funding to do the business of the court because that's their obligation. Yeah? Okay. So as we reported yesterday, the main Supreme Court building was on Tuesday, but the courts with the Swift Justice building and the Ansbacher House building, those were not on. The Supreme Court Registry, which processes bail, and the Industrial Tribunal were also affected by the outage. Although the main Supreme Court had power, the lack of power also affected proceedings once prisoners were in custody, as the cell block and the Central Police Station was not accepting prisoners because there was neither electricity nor water. And so lawyers were unable to make closing addresses in an ongoing attempted murder case. and jury selection was unable to take place in a high-profile attempted murder and armed robbery case. Today, the magistrate's court complex at South Street was closed due to an outage, and the building has a backup generator that apparently malfunctioned as well. And the Bar Association's president, Parker, said the outages have compromised the judiciary's ability to operate, and he's calling for assurances that the conditions would not persist. But Monroe, the AG, said yesterday that the Court Services Council can take steps to mitigate potential disruptions. Monroe says that in some cases where backup generators are unavailable, virtual hearings could be held in the Hansard building. And he said the Court Services Council is a body that is staffed with intelligent people. I have no doubt that they will learn from the instance. I would be very surprised if they don't. Yeah, okay. You feel good about that? Yeah, okay. So there's another story, this in the Tribune today. DPP downplays the impact of downtown court power outage. So they're saying that the Director of Public Prosecutions, Cordell Frazier, has played down a 2-day power disruption at several downtown court facilities, saying it caused inconvenience but did not significantly interfere with the administration of justice before the main Supreme Court building remained because the main Supreme Court building remained operational. Her assessment contrasts with the concerns raised by the Bar Association, right? Frazier said yesterday that proceedings continued at the main Supreme Court building, which was unaffected by the outage, while the disruption was confined to Ansbacher House and adjoining courthouses. She said, quote, the delay of 2 days, although an inconvenience, was not detrimental, as there was no emergency application and everything is back up now. A senior judiciary official previously told the Tribune that power was lost at about 4 p.m. on Friday and that no information was received from BPL about how long the outage was expected to continue. The generators therefore continued running throughout the weekend and had exhausted their fuel by Monday morning, according to this official. They were refueled. One of the main units developed damaged seals after operating continuously and repeatedly failed on Tuesday, forcing the affected court facilities to close while technicians carried out repairs. Wow. The disruption was not confined to the courts. The Industrial Tribunal also lost power. And although there was electricity there the following morning. BPL said the outage affecting Bank Lane was caused by a cable fault near Rawson Square that Bahamas Grid Company technicians identified early Tuesday morning. Oh, so Bahamas Grid. Interesting. So BPL is responsible for statements from Bahamas Grid? Is that where we are? They're not going to...
Like, we don't really know where we are, right? So we're just taking the statements from whoever they come.
Okay.
At this point...
As long as somebody's talking.
Yeah. It's just like, okay.
The utility said...
Because we were saying that we weren't hearing anything, and so...
Interesting.
If they're talking through someone, if they're, hey...
Okay. The utility said crews were working to repair the fault and expected electricity to be restored by 1 a.m. Wednesday. Yeah, okay. Well, so they're all downplaying what happened except for the Bar Association president who's saying it's had some lasting effects. Now, if you were listening yesterday, you know our friend John McPhee, who is a friend of the show and the station, called in. His brother, James McPhee, was murdered last month, right? While he was that trial in which he was the eyewitness. That armed robbery case was supposed to start Tuesday, but because of the outage, that didn't happen. I think the Guardian article referenced that, right? The jury selection was supposed to begin, couldn't happen.
Right.
Today how insane our system is because the armed robbery case was supposed to start Tuesday with, since he is the witness and victim, but was murdered by the alleged perpetrator. They were going to use his testimony in that case. right?
Right.
That was set for Tuesday. Then yesterday to have the bail hearing for the alleged perpetrator because the murder that happened, he was out on bail during that time, and he didn't sign in. He's the one who didn't sign in 81 times, right? So all of that, the violation of the bail, that hearing was set for yesterday. And we're hearing from John that...
that didn't happen either?
Well, listen to this. He says the bail hearing matter in court number 4 before Justice Archer, but the attorney for the defense could not attend due to a travel conflict, and the matter was adjourned to September 14th. And we don't know what's going to happen with the other one. Plus, there is the murder matter, which is supposed to come up in a few weeks. So again, why this is in 3 different periods, this is not making sense.
Am I mistaken? Isn't this one case?
Well, you would think, but all 3 are going to be separated, and but this is where we are. And Wayne Monroe claims these people are intelligent, but yeah, they're going to continue with this madness and more delays. And that original armed robbery happened in 2019, I think it was?
Wow.
Yeah. And just weeks
7
before
years
the case.
ago.
Weeks before the case, he's killed by the out on bail perpetrator.
Who didn't sign in 81 times.
Yeah.
I don't know how we continue to.
So I'm being silence right now. It's not because I've passed up from the heat, but I just can't. Trying to process where we are.
I don't know how we keep doing this. Something has to change. People have to what? The people. If it feels like if it doesn't affect you personally, it doesn't matter. Sometimes.
Yeah. And
because
again,
at any point we can change laws. At any point.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. We've seen it enough, Dwight, that we know. When you were younger, you thought that this process is a long, drawn out process. And,
no, I never thought that actually.
Give it time.
Didn't think that.
Right? Of course you didn't.
No.
But now we know. Laws can happen at the blink of an eye.
But again, I don't think a law needs to be changed for this, right? This is, it just makes sense. What are you doing? Why would you have 3 different matters?
Right.
You just, as the prosecutors, just say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We don't need to slap up here. This is silly. To have
I'm going even further back than that. Because how is a person who's out on bail and doesn't sign in 81 times not at some point picked up and remanded?
Well, there matters with double digit not signing in. Well, I think one was a triple digit, but he an excuse, I believe, that one. But
well, our situation, I think he hadn't signed in how many other times either.
By the way, should we get into that? Because I've said it to some reporters. I don't think they're going to follow up on it. But let's talk about it since we're talking about the courts and the madness going on in this country. So we did talk about this on the show, right? Earlier. Well, maybe if we didn't, let's refresh people's memory. You want to begin?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So in July, we noticed on the Ring camera that someone was trying to enter our home. It was shortly after midnight.
And were you there at the time?
I was not there.
Okay.
I was not at home.
But your husband was
at home. Yeah, Mark was at home.
Mm-hmm.
Mark and my mother-in-law. They were at home. My son was out, and of course my daughter doesn't live in the Bahamas. But anyways, so my son's birthday was going to be, and we have our tradition where we call at midnight, happy birthday. So I'm just giving the context of why we even noticed.
Right.
He wasn't home, so we just began talking, the family members in the group chat. I decided, you know what, I'm getting tired. let me go and put my phone on charge and go to bed. And in doing that, I saw the alert. She pop up on, well, it was there on the phone. At a certain time, my phone is on Do Not Disturb, right? So I looked, there was a notification. I assumed it was my son who'd probably just come in. So whatever. So I hit a notification, and then I see this face that I don't recognize. And at first, I thought that maybe this was an old video. And so I'm looking and I'm going, I looked at the timestamp. I'm like, what's happening here? And I realized the person was trying to enter our home. He tried the door because the thing about our door handle is it's deceptive in the fact that it turns all the way even when it's locked, right? It doesn't open, but it does turn all the way. So it would give you the impression that perhaps you could come in. And so anyway, saw that, then by that time my husband had fallen asleep as well. So I called and told him, I said, hey, check the ring. I just watched there's somebody tried to get into the house.
Wow.
And so he did that. And then, of course, he then went looking to see if he saw anyone. We called my son and told him, just hang on a minute, wait before you come home. Anyway, did all of that. Of course, reported it, relevant authorities. I think everybody and their mom saw the picture, the photo that was a pop-up, and everybody WhatsApp group saying, be careful, someone's trying to, okay, so that video. And so but then we discovered that this is someone who is out on bail, who has taken off his ankle monitor, and who, much like this guy that didn't sign in 81 times, I forget how many times that he hasn't signed in, high digits as well. And he doesn't have any status here.
Right. So this is the part that's disturbing, right? He doesn't have status, but he was applying for asylum. He was seeking asylum.
He was seeking asylum because his country where he was, violence, gangs, whatever. As I understand it, he comes here, he commits armed robbery, no status, commits armed robbery. He's not remanded, he's given bail. And then I think he was in New Providence and then came to Grand Bahama.
And went on a crime spree.
And in Grand Bahama, housebreaking, all of that stuff.
So everybody there seeking asylum is accused of committing a crime, got bail. He's not from here, doesn't have any status. He got bail and was out and about on a crime spree, out on bail as an asylum seeker. How does that happen? How?
I'm very confused about that.
Make it make sense.
I figure you don't have any status. You came here seeking asylum, which you can because, we signed on to that treaty. So no one called and said, let's not get into that because we signed on to a treaty that said we are. We really haven't put anything in place for asylum seekers, but whatever. Anyways, how do you, as an asylum seeker, you commit a crime in the place where you say that you're seeking asylum and you are allowed bail? Why aren't you sent back to the country that you came from immediately? You've served a sentence.
Or at least said, you're not a candidate for bail because you might definitely be a flight risk.
Something.
So I do think everybody who was robbed needs to sue somebody. And everyone keeps saying this when you say sue somebody. They say, what difference will it make? Yeah, that's exactly why nothing's changing. Because, right?
You can sue.
Make them feel. Then they'll take these things seriously. That doesn't make sense. But this is what we're dealing with. Monroe says these are intelligent people, though. Okay. Yeah. Let's get your reaction to all that. So you're hearing all of this. So is John telling me that both matters have been set for September 14th? Is that what you're saying, John? And the one that was delayed because of the power outage, and the one that was delayed because of the attorney's travel conflict, are they going to finally put them together? No, that would be too. That makes too much sense. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Wow. Okay. So we got some messages. You can call in as well about this. All 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259. Then call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us. Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. So he was out here being violent, but escaping violence. So maybe because people were out to get him because he's a criminal? Perhaps. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. So this person's saying asylum seekers are subject to national laws. If they are accused of a crime, they must be treated as a national. They are accused, not convicted. So depending on accusations, eligible for bail like nationals, they can't be sent home because it would constitute refoulement. That's the legal situation. Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Well, not everybody gets bail. And I would say in that situation, right, including nationals.
Right.
No, you're not a candidate. We suspect you could be a problem.
Your flight risk.
Right.
You don't have any ties to the country.
Yeah. Oh boy. What? Okay. Don't know what that was just now. Let's read some messages. Some other messages. This person says here, multiple hosts said they were told to get ready for a long summer of load shedding. What are we talking about? Who hosts? If the sources knew, BGC and P knew, I believe the unusually long House of Assembly summer break was triggered by knowledge of a coming complete collapse of BGC. That doesn't make any sense. Why would they even? Okay. The return date appears time to coincide with cooler temperatures. What are you talking about? Where? In the Bahamas? September? Are you new here? September is one of the most uncomfortable months in this country. You don't know what you're talking about. Multiple hosts. What are you talking about? BPL said they were ready. But we know better. We know better. Every summer, almost every summer, it happens. Okay. It's just incompetence. It's not a conspiracy. It's just plain incompetence and probably stupidity. This texter says here, is the police commissioner still in office? Has anyone seen her address any issue publicly? The last I heard from her was July 31st by way of a secondhand message from, it's going on 5 weeks now and nothing. Nothing on the person who breached his bail 81 times. Nothing on any of these matters. Well.
Busy working.
Hmm?
They have a press liaison officer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not I don't feel like we have to hear from her, right? Like, for what reason?
Well, there are quite a few things. Quite a few. We've been told of going back to even last year, instance on conduct from officers and situations. We've not heard the outcome of any of these things. I'd like to know where those things stand.
I mean, does that have to come specifically from her? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's something. Well, I don't know.
Can't it come through their press liaison?
It's possible.
Department, the officer.
It would be good to know what the consequences would be, though. We determined this, and so this is what we did.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, does it have to be her specifically? That's all. That's all. Because we still, we still don't know what has happened with the officer. Our case that we don't have any information on. That it doesn't even appear as if, the family may be checking into it privately.
Which one are you saying?
I'm just not aware.
The officer.
The one that we...
The non-American who was killed by the officer just days after the American. Yeah, right.
Correct.
Well, they want us to forget about it. Obviously, but of course, you see how quickly that matter, just a couple of days earlier, has moved through the courts. It's just Just amazing, just amazing. But as we see, when it comes to getting shot, getting bitten by a dog, maybe even sharks, just don't be. Well, although it doesn't happen to Bahamians, sharks, but just don't be a Bahamian, especially a black Bahamian. Make sure that you are white American, and justice will be served, and that's beautiful. Love it. It's great. This texter says here, I know a fella that applied for asylum, came down from prison, got in a car, and went over to PI to meetings. This happens on a regular. He went to PI for meetings? Okay.
I don't know what that
I don't know what
means,
you're
but
saying. Yeah, so the flight risk argument is a valid one. Yeah, there really could have been quite a few ways to handle this.
Right.
There really could have been a few ways to handle this. But we'll see. Will he?
Like,
You think he?
every time you apply for bail, does the law state that not only do you have the right to apply for bail, does it also state that bail has to be given?
No. It's up to the discretion of the
Okay.
judge. So, and if the prosecutor makes valid arguments that there's a reason why we object to bail, and the judge takes that into consideration, things can happen. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, we got to go to the news. When we come back, we'll talk about BPL and the taxi cab union and what's going on. The hot summer, flaring tempers all across the country. We'll see where this goes, but just more of the same in our beautiful Bahamas. This is Morning Blend on 96.9. Stay with us.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:20, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So another heat advisory, another day for that here in the entire Bahamas. Everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities and stay hydrated during peak sunshine hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we've got troughing near the northern Bahamas. That's going to support some showers and thunderstorms over that part of the country today, while the northern end of a tropical wave passing across the southern islands will produce an increase in shower activity there today as that wave moves north, spread to the central Bahamas later this afternoon. The wave will continue to move northwestward. Expect showers and thunderstorms to then spread into the northwest and northern islands by Friday, tomorrow. Looking ahead to the weekend, high pressure will gradually cross the country, supporting hot temperatures along with stable weather conditions through the middle of next week. Ahead of all that, though, for today, there's currents for the southeast Bahamas, and there is a marginal to moderate risk for isolated, strong to possibly severe thunderstorms over the southeast Bahamas islands today. So for today, your forecast: A mix of sun and clouds for most areas today, but partly cloudy from the northern and southeast Bahamas. Look for the elevated rain chances for the northernmost islands and the southernmost islands, as we said. But in the center, the northwest and central Bahamas, looking at a 10 to 30% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures today hovering around 92 to 93 Fahrenheit, 33, 34 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's anywhere from 104 to 108 Fahrenheit, especially if you're in the northern islands. Closer to 108, it'll feel like that. For your overnight lows, look for lows between 82 and 84 Fahrenheit tonight. Very warm night. That's about 28 to 29 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, variably cloudy for the northern half of the country, partly sunny for the southern half of the country, slightly elevated chances for rain in the northern half, and look for gusts near to gale force for the southeast Bahamas, especially near Anagua. Of sun and clouds for the northern half of the country, partly to mostly sunny for the southern half of the country, and by Sunday, most areas will be sunny. That'll continue into Monday before we see an increase in clouds by Tuesday. In the tropics, watching a couple of areas. We've got Tropical Storm Cristobal in the Atlantic, west of the Azores. No threat to us at all, just out there in the Atlantic. We also have in the central tropical Atlantic showers and thunderstorms associated with the tropical wave midway between the Lesser Antilles and the west coast of Africa. That has become a little better organized now. That system has an 80% chance, a high chance of formation over the next 7 days as it moves across the central Atlantic. Then we've got a tropical wave several hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands. That's producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. That has about a 50% chance, a medium chance of formation over the next 7 days as it moves towards the west or west-northwest across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. So we'll keep an eye on those for you, especially next week. But that's what we're dealing with. That's your weather check and your morning blend. Weather check's brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Bring your vision to life with Sherwin-Williams paints. Premium quality, vibrant colors, and long-lasting protection for every project. Sherwin-Williams, cover the earth. Good look at traffic brought to you by Anyway Insurance. So we've got Milo Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic this morning just north of the Fire Trail roundabout. If you're heading northbound on the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, you'll see that long line ahead of you this morning. A bit of congestion near Faith Avenue and Fire Trail, and some slow-moving traffic northbound, north of Bellot Road if you're on Milo Butler Highway. Over on Blue Hill Road, some slow-moving traffic as you get north of Soldier Road on the way over that hill heading to Independence Drive. And pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections there. Heading into downtown, we're seeing a long line of traffic on West Bay Street, eastbound to Nassau Street, and just west of that area along West Bay Street. But manageable for the most part on the streets in New Providence. Again, some schools are reopening. Prepare yourselves for delays returning. It's only going to get worse from there beginning next week. But for now, that's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. You don't need a car insurance, you just need a few minutes. With NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers, you get an instant car insurance quote, buy a new policy or renew an existing one, pay your premium or access your insurance documents all online. Discover everything a full-service online insurance portal can do at nuainsurance.com.
Doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
At RBC, we think it's your ideas that build a life. And sometimes, to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the loan from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees. And with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit rbc.com/loans today. Your idea happens here. Conditions apply, subject to normal lending criteria.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you, and I'm wondering what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, yeah, I'm all over the place. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with you. When you started out with nothing and you powdered your self.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Laverne Gardner. Laverne, some good news. The AC, we're getting it sorted out, so I'm not going to pass out. Not from the heat, but I may pass out from what we're talking about because I'm really, really frustrated by this. And just again, this James McPhee matter. And again, I don't feel like the public is sufficiently angry. I don't think people, like you might have said it earlier. I think when it's your family, you get it. It seems, but just listening to it, it just is crazy. I mean, why is this? So I'm getting an update. So remember Tuesday, this because of the they're supposed to have jury selection for that trial, the armed robbery, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the air conditioning. The power outages. So that had to be, but the bail matter is set now for the 14th, and the murder trial. Wow. Well, the voluntary bill of indictment that's set for October 30th. Wow. Is this a real place?
Apparently, yes.
I mean, I think we're gonna have to take some drastic measures to help people come to a realization of what we're dealing with here, right? Like either we're going to have to ban shows like Law and Order, or do a Law and Order Nassau, right? There'll be one case that'll drag on for 4 seasons, 22 episodes each, but nothing happens. There are outages. And, boy. Witness tampering and juries doing foolishness.
Listen, typically at the end of Law and Order, there's resolution. So, okay, think about that. It's all covered in
This
an
would be
hour,
a
and
very
less than an
special
hour
one.
is included of commercial.
Very special edition. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so unrest at BPL. Well, we should have suspected this would happen because they're working a lot of overtime since every 5 minutes there's a power outage somewhere.
I thought about that when I was listening to the news. It was like typical.
Yeah. So, our Travis Cartwright-Cal writing about it today. As power woes in the country drag on, a new crisis has erupted at BPL. The Electrical Workers Union President Kyle Wilson saying yesterday, he's been quiet up until now. It's interesting, eh? No?
Well, I guess no news was good news.
What do you mean no news? It's been nothing but news.
I don't know what
They were happy because they thought they were making lots of overtime. Is that what? Anyway, said yesterday that his union filed a trade dispute with the Ministry of Labor against BPL on August 11th after a policy by the board on overtime was implemented on Monday. Wilson said the policy is a disgrace and called for the resignation of BPL Executive Chair Christina Alston. He said, quote, they want to strong arm and dictate to the union. It will not happen. And the union is calling for the immediate removal of Mrs. Christina Alston as the chairman of Bahamas Power and Light because it appears she is also the chairman of Bahamas Grid Company because she's only working for the best interest of the third-party BGC deal. Of course, she's not. But he's saying that she's appears to be.
Right.
Sure. Now, a BPL spokesperson telling the Nassau Guardian that Alston had no comment on the matter. The policy, dated August 31st, 2025, establishes clear guidelines for overtime work at BPL. But Wilson said this year the old policy by the board, which was only made known to the union on Monday, breaches the industrial agreement of the Electrical Workers Union, saying, quote, it's just a total fallacy. Since over 1,000 BPL employees. They still have that many? Oh, wow. Quote, I mean, we have an overtime clause in our contract, and so to implement a policy to supersede a contractual agreement that's registered is just ludicrous. I'm trying to figure out who is on our board and who is advising the board into such idiocies. Wilson described the board's 12-page policy as a dictatorial document, saying, quote, these people have to realize this is an industrial environment. You cannot do what you want to do the way you want to do it. Well, this is nobody's daddy's company, okay? BPL has a union.
I was calling him daddy.
You can say that again. Say it louder so everyone can hear. People in the back room can hear you. Wow, plenty of people call him daddy. Well, okay. It's, quote, it's an industrial environment. We had a recently negotiated contract which is certified and registered, and it ought to be respected and followed. The Chile no right to go and make up their own clauses as they wish to circumvent the remuneration order. You just can't do that, okay? I was elected by the workers to represent them, and you have to respect that. No one on that board was elected. They're all appointed, okay? And so you can't come and impose your will. There's no dictator at BPL, okay? We voted for Philip Brave Davis. Well,
daddy.
I mean, only the Cat Island people. Okay, anyway. Quote, we did not vote for Christina Alston, so I don't know where she gets off with the blatant disrespect. And shame on everyone who's advising her, knowing better. Such actions can only lead to a disruption in the operations, but we won't notice. We won't notice because it'll be just like, hey, it's Thursday again with BPL. He says, quote, respect the order of the day. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wilson says the union spent months negotiating a new agreement. He said that agreement was finalized and signed in June. Now he questioned if the negotiations were just a farce. Mm-hmm. He said the board's policy essentially states how they cut back and what you have specific clauses in our agreement that states how overtime is to be paid. The policy states that we're not going to pay the overtime and we may decide to give it back to you as a holiday pay. What the hell is that? That's Wilson saying that. Mm-hmm. Wilson said if the board at BPL, quote, wants to go outside of the union's industrial agreement, they have to understand for breaking the law, there's consequences. He said, quote, you can't accuse staff of taking advantage of their positions when you're taking advantage of yours. Well, so this bombshell revelation comes at a time when BPL and BGC are struggling to keep the lights on. For weeks now, New Providence consumers have faced frequent power outages due to grid issues, ranging from overloaded circuits to faults to equipment damage. The power interruptions, which are the worst for the island, which are the worst the island's experienced in several years, have sparked widespread public frustration, particularly given the current government's many promises to modernize energy. Yeah. Now, as you've heard, no linesmen from BPL opted to be seconded to BGC. That's also created challenges for the new company. However, BGC CEO Dario McKenzie, Mr. EV, remember, brushed off concerns last week that a shortage of skilled workers is contributing to the ongoing T&D challenges on New Providence. But Wilson said yesterday that it's BPL workers, the former T&D employees, who are reassigned to other departments within BPL who are fixing many of the T&D issues cropping up in the country. He said, quote, they are the same ones who are actually on a daily basis as we speak helping BGC, especially as they have no expertise in underground. Oh, my God. Only the BPL workers who are trained and certified through city and guilds, came through the BPL training programs, have the skill set and knowledge with how to deal with underground maintenance. And so BGC is heavily relying on our guys to assist them, which we are. We haven't turned our backs on the Bahamian people. We're helping them. Wilson says the T&D staff at BPL refused to be seconded to BGC because they were told that BGC does not want a union. He said his members will continue to help BGC and work as hard as they can in the interest of the public. Holy moly. Okay, so people have been saying it all week, but it's time to scrap this contract. It's time to scrap it and start over. Yeah. This is not making any sense.
It isn't.
This is not making any sense, and it's beyond growing pains now. The patient is deformed. The patient is paralyzed. This is complete and utter foolishness. And if you're not prepared to scrap the contract, then several people have to go. Several people have to go. Let's hear from you. The phone lines are all lit up. Let's get your reaction to this. The Prime Minister said it himself, right? The institutional knowledge has left BPL and BGC. Right. Well, I don't know what that meant. We still never understood it, but Kyle Wilson says that the institutional knowledge is with BPL, and they're helping the pathetic BGC, whatever it is, because it looks like they're only there to talk foolishness.
They don't have the manpower, or not the manpower. They don't have the knowledge.
They don't have anything. They don't have anything.
So exactly what was the purpose of this company?
It's certainly not doing it.
Special interest people? I'm sorry.
It's not doing it. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So
maybe it is, Dwight. Maybe it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be.
To frustrate everybody?
Did we ever think about that? Well, that is just a byproduct of it doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Or it could be the end game. Minister, in the end, that will benefit even fewer people than it's benefiting now.
Right now.
you know, in the Bahamas, you have to throw everything on the table. Everything is a possibility. But I appreciate the union for finally speaking. We've been asking for them to talk for a long time, but
they were busy working.
Sure. Let's hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. What say you about this?
Dwight. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, LeVoy.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I see that you're a conspiracy theorist.
How?
Listen.
We're just stating the facts.
But I will state some facts here that's in the Tribune. Internal BPL records obtained by the Tribune show that 3 employees in the Fuel and Performance Department received a combined $601,295.16 in overtime payment between May 25 and 26. 2 accounted for $483,000 of the total, receiving and the other one got 265, and one got $118,000 in 1 year, $20,000 a month. Now, come on, 3 persons in overtime payment, and they have made 3 or 4 times their base salary in overtime pay. Now, that is not sustainable.
Well, if the equipment is that lousy, then what can you do?
I don't know whether the equipment is lousy.
Ask the people in Western New Providence.
Any company that is having to run under those conditions, I mean, they need to be out of business. That is only 3. So how many more add into that?
This is in the industrial agreement. This is what they agreed to.
Yeah, but I mean,
you?
At some point in time, it is up to the company to say, well, I'm not going to allow you to work overtime, and we may have to suffer that. But
who's the we? The Bahamian people?
We can suffer anyhow, right?
Okay. So which one is more important to you, the money being paid to these individuals or the electricity working during off work hours?
I want reliable electricity, but Dwight, we gonna end up paying for this overtime one way or the other because they can put it on our bills. They can put it on our fuel surcharge. They can put it in all of this.
You know what? If they stop paying BGC every month for God knows what, when their own employees are doing the work, this would make more sense. So stop the nonsense with BGC, scrap this crap, and let's get serious about fixing this problem.
You know, that is something that because the minister or whoever put this plan together, they need to go back and look over what they signed and what they signed on to, and see if they could break this contract or what. Because right now, they said that Bahamas Grid nor BGCSE, they don't have the personnel and whatnot. So where they gonna get them from? And the people from BPL say they ain't going. Where they get them from?
It's not working, and we're in what? Was it year 2 yet of this 25-year contract? Okay, this is foolishness.
I mean, this is madness.
Dwight, isn't this the same contract that they said isn't done yet?
I mean, no, they said they haven't taken the full control of the TD assets. Well, yeah. I think can be stopped. There might be penalties, but it might be better to endure the penalties.
It's necessary. Yeah, at this point, it seems to be necessary.
And I'm sure somebody has violated the terms of the contract, especially if one of the original members of the team pulled out, and this company still doesn't have staff to do the work that they need. Right. This is not what was envisioned. It couldn't possibly be.
I need to understand what was envisioned to start.
Well,
I'm sure this is not it, right?
Not too many.
But also, even in terms of the overtime and the amount of overtime that's being paid. And I get the point you're saying, from a company aspect, you can't sustain that. But if you have a contract, that's a conversation that you need to have with the people you have a contract with already, and in terms of that speaks to overtime. I don't think that you can just unilaterally change the agreement and say, okay, moving forward, we're doing this.
Hey, stranger things have happened.
Stranger things are happening. Because we don't know we don't understand this relationship. We don't understand this relationship.
Not sure they do either.
I always go to say the wrong thing, BGC and BPL. But if BGC doesn't have the full complement of staff or the intellectual knowledge to do their part, and BPL is still doing the work, I'm basing this on the union president's assertions, then what is the point of BGC?
Yeah. Let's take another call. Good morning, call. You're live.
Thank you both for taking my call.
Hi.
It's tempting.
Hi.
The Netflix series is very, very tempting, but I think I wouldn't abandon the one I'm working on related to what's going on in America. Yeah,
You mean the idea I had, but for the Law and Order Bahamas, Law and Order Nassau? Or are you talking about something else?
But when you're dealing with immigration internationally, that seems to be a bigger issue. I think you'll have a wider audience, But
you could have many programs.
Mind you, Grok and Gemini, I could spit it out in just a matter of a second. I could file it with the Writers Association.
We got a lot of great actors we could hire to play these, but this is
But
good.
you see, the way it works on the international level, you have to sound like British. You can't have. You remember into the arena, they had to become British. They had to adopt that British accent, else you're not going to get paid.
That wasn't it. It's just so that you could be better understood by a wider audience, right?
Right.
That wasn't
right. I got my son involved in an acting gig because he didn't sound British. They actually was willing to paint him white if he could sound British, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going down a dark hole.
But BPL, BEC, Pike, and BGC. Why we need all these BP and all, what is the reason for having all of these entities and all these various boards and then overtime owing and from 2021, when you look at it, when employees become disgruntled, you could understand why transformers and trans things could become damaged in transit.
What are you even suggesting?
I'm not saying anything else. But all I'm simply saying is, employees need to be happy.
Oh boy.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But what you can help me with is, since you want to do this Netflix series.
I didn't say Netflix, but it could be whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you don't have the freedom of information to get the right information to put into the script as you would have it written.
That's not true. You just have to read the paper and just reenact it.
You think so?
The thing happened something happened in 2010, and they matter 1,000 times for all manner of excuses. It would be great.
Well, Netflix gives you a minimum of $250,000 just to submit it, to submit the script. But then I don't know if they'll jump for what's going on.
See, Law and Order is an NBC Universal property, so I think it might have to go on Peacock. But whatever, there are other options. Maybe we don't.
I'm not serious.
Or just call it Law and Disorder, and I don't know. But Law and Order Bahamas edition would be fantastic. Like I say, you only have to stick to one case. It's just because it's an hour. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Are you there? Hi, let's take that call. Good morning. You're live.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your co-host.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, man, I don't know why these people who have these labor issues don't speak to people who have the experience on handling these things, First of all, there's nothing in law, in employment that allows any employer to pay subordinate staff overtime by days off. That's not in the law. Only managers is not protected by the Employment Act. And you can't unilaterally make these decisions, but the union president is correct. Right. They can't unilaterally change no terms of conditions as relates to working in a unionized environment with an industrial agreement being signed off on. That's called frustrating the contract. So all they're just frustrating these people. They need to talk to people who have experience, who know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't mind some of these lawyers who are not really familiar with the labor laws. Because a lawyer only looking for a paycheck. Most of them only looking for a paycheck, and they will give you wrong advice because they can get paid whether it's right or wrong. They need to speak to people who know it better. Speak to the director of labor. He knows the law as relates to these employment things. Or speak to somebody who you know had this experience. And they only make matters worse. So when the employees are frustrated, that reduces productivity. And then there's no doing thing because you have this big post called director or chairman or something, you know everything. You do not know everything. So speak to people who could give you the right advice on how to move forward. And you have to involve the bargaining agent, which is the union.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much.
I just thought I'd share that. And I wish I could tell you, and this taxi thing we're going on at the airport.
Call us back. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, fine.
A little bit later in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll get into that. I'd love to hear your view on that.
Please tell your producer, when you see my number, answer it, man. I speak calling all the time trying to get them right.
There's no
But then
caller
it's
ID.
like,
We're not discriminating against people here. We don't have caller ID. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. Then all kinds of crazy people will call. But yeah, so we don't know. It's all right. So this is interesting. So you heard that caller citing what's in the Tribune, and that's in the Tribune today. And this is very interesting. So this is apparently these numbers.
Right.
BPL leaked that. Right. They leaked that they paid 3 employees over $600,000 intentionally, but they didn't leak it.
Support.
It looks like they didn't leak it. This is the worst part. They didn't leak it to us. They just told us Alston wasn't commenting, which is very look at that. But they had to approve that, and so they paid it. So what's your problem?
Right. And my thing
You all
is
paid
with
it
all these
because you know you had to.
outages- With all these outages and everything that's been going on, that continues to go on, do you really want to upset the people that you relying on to work to try to make sure that the power stays on?
They don't
Is
care,
this the
Laverne.
best time for them?
They don't care because
Clearly.
they feel like no matter what happens, they are safe in their positions because that's who we are now, apparently. Right? You could lead a company, a corporation into ruin and still be there. From the minister down, you could still be there. Nothing's going to happen. So why not piss off all the workers? Not show up and the place will be in darkness for weeks like Grand Key? Yeah. What about it? I'll still be here because I run things.
I got a guaranteed contract.
And I have a generator, right? So who cares?
Or solar. And solar.
Maybe both. They don't care about us. But they agreed to the contract.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And if you don't have enough
agreed
people
to
to
the
spread out the 600,000, you're mad that what? Only 3 got it? Well, train some other people. Tell BGC to train some people. How about that?
You need to hire some people, eh? Need to hire them.
Caller, what say you? Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Laverne. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Wiley Bahamas, Alan Johnson. Good morning, John Pinder. Let me say something to John Pinder. John Pinder says they should consult somebody who know what they're doing or what they're talking about. John, you out of your cotton. You got to be crazy. What you mean tech people that know what to do? I would fix stuff.
Oh, they don't like that, eh?
No, man. Chaos is where the money is. Okay? Smoke in the mirrors and nobody get to see you unless somebody snitch on you like they did in the day's paper.
Oh, boy.
Okay? How many of you knew that there was millionaires being made in BPL?
I wish somebody told me this in high school.
High school.
I'd have really
Too late, right, for you
done
to learn
electrical
to fix my
engineering.
skill.
You think I could still do it? Electrical engineering?
Absolutely. There's an absolute demand for people right now, regardless of the age. For the scale of it, I think
you could go now.
Yeah?
You change
The girls
now.
program
They need
only
all
runs in
the
6 months.
manpower they can get.
Yes. And because this is another decade or 20-year problem to fix at the rate we going, right? You know how much money going to be made once the grid collapse?
Well, we'll find out soon.
Right. But right, here's the simple solution. I've been advocating this for maybe a decade or two. Form a sovereign asset management entity, right? It's just like we say we would sell BPL and BGC and everything else. the grid, power generation, transmission, distribution, everything. Let's sell it to a sovereign asset management entity. A sovereign asset management entity would then be governed by a sovereign asset management authority. Neither of the two could be interfered with by government. In the same way, like, the sovereign welfare we always talk about, right? Norway. If Norway came in here and says, we have the money, we want to buy the grid, we would say, sell it to them, we'll get it fixed. How many people do you think the sovereign, the government could put on the board to tell Norway with how to invest, how to direct, how to whatever? They can't. So we would then get a grid, but the mandate would come under the Sovereign Asset Management Authority that sets what is necessary for the national development. And the individuals will get performance bonuses, implementing bonus, not profit sharing in that respect. So now we have a not-for-profit, not a non-profit, a not-for-profit entity that runs, builds, reforms the grid for the economic development of the country in 1, 5, 10, 15, 50 years that are just automatically. You know, we talk about the sovereign wealth fund, we talk about the infrastructure fund and everything else. Go to Parliament, pass the law, send it to Sovereign Asset Management, who will then give it to a Sovereign Asset Management entity, the SAMA, S-A-M-A, and they'll give it to a Sovereign Management entity. Just the same way we give the transmission distribution to other people, it just won't be for profit, it'll be for all of them. We will have to not hear from government. They go to the market, they raise the capital, they do what is necessary. We get a 21st century grid, probably drop electricity to below 20 cents when you start looking at the rooftops and the solar and all the other things we could do. They'll come with a energy reduction thing. And everything they leaked, they didn't leak to you the strategy for the grid. They didn't leak to you all of these things, right? Garbage.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's read these messages as we get ready to go to the break for news. This person says here, now the BP Hell workers know how we, the customers, feel. We negotiated for reliable electrical service by paying our BPL bills, and look at what we're getting. Some of them are suffering too, though, I'm sure. This person says here, I just texted earlier this week that BGC needs to get the bill for all overtime on these power outages. In my opinion, BGC was designed to extract guaranteed revenue out of BPL for a company with zero risk and guaranteed returns for its wealthy private investors. You better believe it. The government could easily have offered shares in BEC. They did not, because that would have exposed those investors to risks and losses. They knew exactly what they were doing when they signed. The money they are paying these unions, consultants, and they should know better. The money they're paying the union consultants, they should know better. I'm not sure what you're saying, but okay. All right. Wow, this is going to be interesting. We will see BPL union, the Electrical Workers Union, again, they are saying that they're putting their members on high alert. High alert. Right? All members are on high alert. It's been brought to our attention that Bahamas Power and Light have committed several infractions in breach of our legally binding industrial agreement. We will not stand for these injustices. We hereby encourage our members to work hours only and afterwards go home. Wow. So if there's an outage tonight, we're going to be screwed till 9, 10 o'clock in the morning? No? Or do they have, they want time? 7 o'clock? Workers?
Time.
You sure? You sure?
They have night workers?
Do those people know how to fix the underground cables? Producer says no.
No, they don't.
They don't know how to fix this stuff. Those skilled ones, the 3 skilled ones who made $600,000, they probably don't work those hours. I don't know. But God help us if there's a lightning strike, or if there's a bird that lands on the wrong wire, or if a car hits the wrong pole.
If there's work to be done.
Yes, we're in trouble.
Let's be clear. If there's work to be done.
Which means fix an outage.
Requires them to go, exactly.
Yes.
Which requires them to go beyond their time. They are to just leave it and go home.
They work normal working hours, not overtime. So if you're not scheduled to be there, don't be there.
Okay.
So if you thought it couldn't get any worse than what we've been experiencing, this is going to be interesting. We're just approaching midsummer, eh? And we know September is one of the worst months of the year.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
God, pray for all of us.
I just sat down with a
We'll be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Really grab the remote. All of a sudden, darkness grabbed me by the throat. The fan stopped spinning, the fridge went still. I sighed and said, well, here's the bill, courtesy of BPL. They've got us living by candlelight. 1 minute you're dancing, the next you can't see. Surprise, they shout. Courtesy of BPL.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global medicine.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Shop early to get your uniforms and get Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Hey, did you ever sort out the car insurance?
I thought you did.
No, I sent it to you.
You sent me the reminder.
Okay, hold on. Okay, done.
Done?
Yeah, renewed, paid.
NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Attention All-Star students. The season for school success starts now at John Bull Business Center. Stock up on notebooks, backpacks, pens, calculators, art supplies, and more with 20% off school supplies and 10% off teaching aids. Shop now through September 12th, and every purchase automatically enters you to win one of 3 Apple prizes. This year is your season to shine. Gear up, save big, and start your school year like a champ. Business Center.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on Thursday, August 13th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And this morning we are going to be talking about the exciting new joint venture. It's called Bahamas Override, and it's between Benchmark Advisors and Override Limited. And here with us this morning, very happy to have CEO of Benchmark Group of Companies, Julian Brown. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Morning, Mrs. Strachan. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Laverne, I think I can speak for both of us. So we want you to talk to us as if we are very young children to help us understand everything is going on here, right?
Yeah.
So take it slowly with us. But give us a little bit of background about Benchmark Advisors and Override before we talk about the joint venture.
Sure. You don't have to worry. I believe in simple.
Okay, wonderful.
We need that.
Very simple. It's the best way to communicate. So Benchmark is a public company, is 25 years old as a public company and 29 years old as an incorporated company. My father and I started it in 1997. We took it public in 2000, and we've been listed on the Bahamas Stock Exchange from 2000. We were one of the 20 companies that got listed when the exchange started.
I remember.
And one of our subsidiaries, Benchmark Advisors, which is our capital market subsidiary that makes a market on the local stock exchange for investors that want to trade. We are a broker dealer on that exchange. And so we make a market on that exchange. And we assist members who want to trade, shareholders and other brokers that are listed on exchange that want to trade. We make the market with them to assist in providing liquidity to the market. We're now entering into a new era in world dynamics in terms of digital trading. And so we have struck a joint venture deal with our partner Override that has developed a digital trading platform for the hosting of digital asset trading on their platform. And they were very interested in finding a partner that was licensed and experienced in markets to join with them their technology. So Benchmark and the Bahamas having a DARAC, which is the Digital Asset Regulation, Digital Asset Exchange Regulation legislation, was something that our partners found to be very unique and interesting. And they thought joining their technology in a regulated environment would be something that would work for them, and we thought would work for us. Okay. And so that's how the venture got started.
Wonderful. All right, so tell us a little bit more about Override, and then we'll get specifics about the joint venture.
Sure. Override started in 2023 by two gentlemen, one by the name of David Caliber and Sean Pickstock. Both have experience in the financial arena. Sean is the in several very unique program and platforms that he has sold to institutions across the world. And he is also a very unique individual in terms of his skill set for developing blockchain type software. And David is a lawyer and a former chairman of several international banks. And he and Sean together joined and formed Override. You can visit the Override webpage. It's overryde.com. And there you will see a host of different types of technologies that they have created, both for the legacy environment, and I call the legacy environment the environment in which we presently trade securities, and also in the next generation environment, which is the digital environment, which the world is very quickly moving toward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I heard some of the words you're mentioning: digital trading, blockchain, crypto too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, It's all crypto.
It's all crypto.
People are confusing crypto because initially everything came out of Bitcoin. Everybody thinks that Bitcoin and crypto is the only thing that happens, but crypto is really just a digital mechanism by which different types of blockchain, and the blockchain is really a open ledger, a digital open ledger that allows companies and individuals to be able to do transactions in an open environment, peer to peer.
Okay.
So you can move, for example, let's say you have locally we have the Bahamas sand dollar. That's a cryptocurrency. That's a digital currency. And so that just allows the central bank to digitize our physical asset, i.e. the Bahamian dollar, and make it move digitally in the same fashion as you would move the physical currency. It's just faster.
Okay. All right. So I want you to do a couple things for us, Julian Brown. So let's talk about the joint venture, how this is going to work, and then break it down for a beginner user, how this would work for them, and we'll go up to the advanced users eventually. But let's begin with the joint venture and specifically what we can all expect from this.
So the joint venture simply means that two parties agree to doing something together on an equal basis in relationship to what each party brings to the table. So Override brings to the table technology and a suite of products in that technology that has been tested, proven in certain jurisdictions. And that technology in and of itself is great, except it needs to now come to market. So to bring it to market, you need to put it into an environment that is well regulated. So the Bahamas is the leading digital asset regulation legislation platform in the world.
Right.
And so to bring the technology into the marketplace, it needs to be governed. And so when they looked around the world and they looked at different locations where they can rest this technology, they identified the Bahamas as the leading place for digital exchanges to operate. And so they came to the Bahamas looking for a partner where they can rest their technology inside of that legislation to cause it to become a marketplace and a product that the consumer and the marketplace can use. Benchmark, who is a licensed, regulated, publicly traded company that they found relationships that they have and we have that are common. And that relationship caused us to sit down at the table, discuss the opportunities. And within, I would say, 6 months has been the period in which we have known each other. But within 60 days, we saw the commonalities and the opportunities. And so we benchmark, not having been in the digital environment in relationship to our license, agreed that we would make application under our existing capital markets license to simply expand that license into a digital marketplace. And so we've made an application to the Securities Commission of the Bahamas to upgrade our license. I wouldn't say upgrade, actually, to add to our license a digital trading license for us to be able to integrate our license with their technology to bring it to market.
Okay. All right. So who would be your potential customers or typical customers? Give us an understanding of the profile there.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. And international individuals who want to use the platform will have an opportunity to use it. The Bahamas, in relationship to how the technology will rest, is going to be determined by what the marketplace here needs and wants to do with the technology. I'm not going to sit on your show and begin to prognosticate on what we're going to do with the technology. All I can tell you, Mr. Strachan, is this is changing powerful technology that's going to allow the Bahamas internationally and domestically to grow at leaps and bounds over what we have been doing since becoming independent.
Wow. Okay. All right. So again, as we said earlier, if we're beginners, we don't know anything. Explain to us why we need to understand this and get involved in this and how this would work.
Okay. So let me give you a little bit of color on the technology.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a company that operated in the Bahamas in the past that didn't do well.
Oh boy. Yeah, we remember.
Yeah, we remember.
Mm-hmm.
So the technology that is in the marketplace at the moment, and in order for you to create what is called a wallet, and the wallet is where you would transact and do all of your business in the digital environment. The current technology holds what is called cold wallets. A cold wallet is simply that you transact and somebody else custody your assets. So, for example, you go to the bank and you put money in the bank. Your money in the bank is in a cold wallet. Why? Because you trust the bank. The central bank governs the operation of the bank to ensure that they have a certain amount of reserves and that they keep a certain amount of liquidity so that when the customer comes for his assets are available for him to get. However, if that customer doesn't come for his asset, the bank on-lends those assets so that it can make a rate of return to generate and pay for its cost of business and a return on the capital of the shareholders that have funded the bank. So when you go presently into a bank or into any institution where you deposit money, you're giving them trustee over your assets. It's a cold wallet. The technology that we're in is a hot wallet. You, Mr. Strachan, is going to hold. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting the name of your
Laverne Gardner. Laverne Gardner.
Me. You will be.
It's okay. I'm just listening intently so that I understand. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. You will be holding your assets in what is called a hot wallet. What is a hot wallet? It means that you have any money in your pocket? You guys have any money?
Me right now, maybe $1.
Who's keep cash on?
$1.50.
But you tell me to keep it simple. So I'm keeping it simple.
Okay, go ahead.
That money in your pocket is hot.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
You hold it. You govern it. The money in your credit card is hot and cold.
Okay.
It's hot
Mm-hmm.
because you get a certain level of credit when you use it. If you exceed the credit, it's going to. So you're borrowing money from a credit card company every time you put your card into the machine. That's a hot and cold wallet. Cold in that you don't have the money. Hot is when you need it. But in your pocket is hot money. You can take that money out of your pocket. You are the custody of that asset. You are the custody of the money in your wallet. You can give that to whoever you want to give it to. In our environment, that's a hot wallet.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be holding your assets. FTX held your assets. We're not going to let anybody hold your assets. You're going to hold. It's different.
Mm.
It's a game changer. So I hate to say it, you don't need a bank anymore to hold your money.
Oh, wow.
You will be holding your money in the next 10 years or sooner. You're going to be holding all of your assets yourself. The bank is only going to be able to provide you with a return on that if they so choose.
And they mostly don't.
Or in the digital environment, some other liquidity provider is going to say, okay, Mr. Strachan, you have $1, I'll pay you $1.05 for it, and you lend it to me. Now you decide who you're lending your money to.
Okay,
the whole system in the world over the next 5-10 years is going to dramatically change, Mr. Strachan.
Okay, so what would be the benefits to me holding that hot money with Bahamas override? I mean, are you not going to take out interest, or you're going to get, or do I have to do something with it?
You told me to keep it simple. You decide what you want to do with your money.
Okay.
Bahamas riders, and you're holding it yourself. Who's holding the dollar in your pocket?
Hopefully it's only me. Yes.
You
Mhm.
earn your dollar, and she says, "Oh, I will give you 2 cents for you lending me that dollar for 10 days." And you say, "Okay, fine." Then you're only going to use Bahamas override as the exchange mechanism to move the money from your wallet to her wallet.
Mhm.
We're just the exchange. That's why it's called BOX, Bahamas Override Exchange. We're not holding your money. We're not doing anything with your money other than allowing you the ability to transact in the marketplace with whomever you wish to transact with.
Okay, can I just interject? I just want to make sure I'm clear based on that. So let's continue with this example. I have $5,000.
Yes.
I'm approached by a company that says they will give me $5,010 to hold my money or whatever. Anyway, and how that would happen, how that exchange would happen is where you come in. We to you to make sure that this money is properly exchanged back and forth.
Stop right there, Laverne.
Yeah.
You go to Macy's now, and you take your credit card because you tell me you don't keep no money in your wallet. You just told me that.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and you buy stuff in Macy's. You put your MasterCard, Visa, or American Express. They don't take American Express, so it's either MasterCard or Visa, into their machine. Do you know what happens in the background?
Nope.
What does it come back to tell? What is the next thing you see after you put your PIN in? What does it say?
Approve.
And what else? Remove
your card.
Your card.
Remove your card.
So do you understand? Do you care? Are you interested in how that transaction in the background is happening? What are you more interested in?
My interest is in purchasing that item.
A product in the bag to walk out.
Right.
Well, that's all we're going to do.
You're doing the background work.
I'm doing the back office work, yes.
Okay.
So are there fees? There's got to be money coming to you all, right?
What you pay or Visa every time? The merchant pays for you to transact.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. It's called transtaffle. Anytime somebody tells you they're doing something for you for free, you should walk out, because that means that they're hitting you for 10 times more than you should get hit for.
Okay.
No such thing as a free lunch.
All right. So, or are there going to be fees to hold my money in this wallet too?
If you don't use your Visa card or your American Express or your MasterCard, do you get charged?
Well, some of them have an annual fee.
Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is. But if you don't use it, so they're charging you a fee for having ease of their money. You're borrowing their money every time you use the card, right?
Right.
Okay, so should they get paid for it?
Sure.
Absolutely. So in our case, we're not lending you any money. We're just allowing you a mechanism in 21st century to move your money.
Okay.
And we're going to charge you maybe, Visa charges 50 cents every time you jump on their rails. You don't know that. And if you go and you look at, you Google Visa and MasterCard and look at their earnings, $3-4 billion a quarter. A quarter. Where do you think that come from? Every time you stick your card in a machine and it says, put your PIN in and approve, take your card out, you get in charge. Somebody's getting charged. And you don't see it because the merchant is putting it on the price of the product that he's selling you every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you buy the dress and it say, on sale for $10, it's $10 plus the merchant expense for letting you use their machine that they got to pay MasterCard for you to be able to buy the product.
Wow. Okay, so Julian Brown with Benchmark, what's the minimum I can start with? Is there a minimum? If I only have $1.50, can I do this, or do I have to have a certain amount?
Oh, you don't have to have anything. You could just set up and request the wallet. Technology is there.
Wow. Okay.
You could go to the bank now and open an account, but for us, if you wanna have a wallet with zero in it, that's on you. Eventually, like anything else, when Netflix first started, it used to be free. Now you pay $10 a month if it's a single card user, and for every other user, $8.50, I believe, and nobody complains. Everybody pays 23, 24, 25, depending on how many people in your house that you want to have access. Nobody complains. The value of the product determines you are prepared to pay to have access to the product. If I could let you move assets from the Bahamas to Timbuktu on the press of a button, and you can transact with somebody in Timbuktu, as my dad would say, and get what you want done in the speed of light, how much would you be prepared to pay for it if that's something that you had to do every day?
Wow. Sounds pretty convenient. Okay, so you broke it down for the beginner users, but for those up there who are living all the time in this digital trading space, let's talk about the benefits to them, how this will work for them and what they need to keep in mind.
The same as it works for the small guy.
Okay.
There's no difference. It's all the difference is it's an asset exchange. You want to trade securities, you want to move cash, you want to sell your property on the waterfront on Cable Beach, you want to sell a piece of artwork, you want to sell a pen, you want to sell your tennis, you want whatever you want to do tokenized and be presented on the digital exchange as an asset that you can exchange with anybody. Our job is going to be this: A, to ensure that everybody on the exchange we know. B, that we can track every transaction that occurs on the exchange every minute of the day, which we can do now. That everybody on the exchange, both the liquidity provider and the user, are of high repute, i.e. we don't want no black beds on our exchange. So we're going to vet and check and cross-vet and cross-check everybody, user and liquidity provider. What is the liquidity provider? The liquidity provider are the people on the other side of the exchange who want to provide liquidity to the marketplace so that you can transact however you want to transact with them or with somebody else. Right now, you can exchange fiat currency for a currency. Right now on our exchange. And we are testing and back testing that on a regular, so that, and we're getting it certified as we test to ensure that what we're saying we can do is in accordance with the best market practice and standards. So our job is to make sure that the exchange itself, like you go into a food store, the Super Value is a digital exchange.
Huh?
Yeah. The
supermarket.
What?
Yeah.
So go ahead and explain that.
Because every time you go into the food store, you pick up a physical asset. And now you're paying with a digital asset to move it.
Okay. Well,
you're using your credit card in most instances to buy your product. So all we are going to do is the exact same thing. With your physical asset, we're going to dematerialize it into a digital asset that allows you to transfer the value of that asset from one person to the next. You have a piece of property on Cable Beach that you own. How do you know you own the property? You have to go through all of the legal hurdles in order to get ownership of that property. You have to go through the same hurdle again to prove that you own it and transfer the title over to the next person who is going to pay you the cash for that asset. It takes 6 to 8 to 12 to 13 to 24 months. Once we bring this product to market and we have proof of concept, you're going to digitize your real estate into a coin. And you're going to be able to move that coin wherever you want to move it digitally. for whatever value you want to sell it for, and the buyer wants to pay you for it. And the minute it happens, done.
Okay. All right. So we got some people calling in. I bet you they know a whole lot more about this than Laverne and I do.
I'm sure they do.
So and we've got some interesting text messages as well. Again, we're talking with Julian Brown with Benchmark. He's talking about their joint venture with Override, and they formed Bahamas Override Exchange. And let's get to these calls. And you can call us as well, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
My name is Sean McKenzie. Good morning to your guest.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mel.
I have, it's really good to know, first of all, that in the midst of us having gotten a black eye from the other digital company that was here for a short time, that we are still considered one of the best countries for that type of platform, and with the reputable system and framework for it. But the question I have is for the exchange, this company that he's proposing as a digital facilitator for exchange between the customers and whoever they choose to, or members and whoever they choose to do business with. The legal ramifications, the property that he cited, if you're selling a piece of property, how do they facilitate the legal part of that? Does the lawyer still have to be involved, or the platform points you to all of that stuff and facilitate it with their tool?
That's an excellent question. So here is why they came to the. In order to mint, it's when you take a physical asset and you dematerialize it into a digital asset. All that is happening. For example, if you trade on the Bahamas International Securities Exchange right now, they are a digital exchange. They have dematerialized all the shares of all the publicly traded company, including ours, into a digital environment that allows them to move those assets from buyer to seller when a transaction occurs on their exchange. So in order for us to mint a coin, the Bahamas has regulations in place that we must follow in order for that coin to become something that the Bahamas recognizes as a true and valid instrument. So every time we mint a coin, we have to go to the Securities Commission. We have to follow their regulations, and they have some very detailed and very clear regulations in place as to what you need to do to mint a coin. So in order for us, we have to present that to the commission, and the commission has to look at the information that we're presenting, and they have to say, this information is in accordance with no objection. If they have objections, they will let us know what their objections are. When we did our IPO is the same as minting a coin. We went to the Securities Commission with a prospectus. We put the prospectus on the table and said, Benchmark wants to go public. These two fellas, Brown and Brown, want to take their company public. Here is what they want to do. You could still today find our prospectus, and our prospectus will tell you everything that we said we would like to do and our intentions of doing when we become a public company. So the public then gave us $2,743,000 back in 2000, added to our $2,100,000 that we had there, and we created a company called Benchmark with $4,959,111 of money, a capital in it, for shares equal to that amount, because the shares were $1 each. That's the same minting that is going to happen when we mint any asset to come on the exchange. The exact same process that is occurring is nothing to do with the technology. Don't misunderstand the technology and the legal framework in which the technology exists. The technology is the technology. They can move asset, mint an asset. Benchmark Advisors, Bahamas Override. Benchmark Advisors is going to be the licensee for the Digital Act. And so Benchmark Advisors, the public company, owned by the public company, is responsible for ensuring that every aspect of the legal ramifications to mint a coin is done properly before it gets to the exchange.
Okay. Did he answer all your questions, caller?
He did, and the sale of something, but also you have the borrowing. When people want to borrow now at the bank, we borrow against certain things. Like the bank will hold your car if somebody wants a loan to finish off college fees, and they'll hold your house or equity in your house. So all of this is, how it's going to work on that digital platform. A guy wants to borrow monies from me. I have the funds, but I want to hold his car. With the sale of something or just somebody borrowing against something, I just wanted to know how.
So that's a good question.
Helps to facilitate that, or we still have to do some traditional things in terms of meeting with this person physically and having them sign some agreement, and it still has to be endorsed by a lawyer or JP.
Wow. Okay, let's get him to answer that. Thank you for the call. Thank you very much. Yes.
I want to respond to that. That's an excellent question.
Mm-hmm.
So, caller, think of it this way. When you go to your broker and your broker, Commonwealth Bank shares, he trades that share on the local exchange. And you then see in the newspaper the next day, 1,000 shares of Commonwealth Bank traded at $4.20 or whatever. The exchange facilitates that transaction. Earlier, I spoke about the liquidity. Don't think that this digital environment is going to exclude the banking system. The banking system is going to move its operation into this digital environment. And you will be able to lend the bank money still, if you so choose, but at a rate of interest that they're going to pay you on the hot wallet in your pocket. And then you're going to transfer it to them. So Commonwealth Bank isn't going to disappear. CIBC isn't going to disappear. JP Morgan isn't going to disappear. They're just going to go into the back end and become the liquidity provider like MasterCard. When you use your MasterCard, you are using your MasterCard and you're on their rail and they're lending you their money. In this instance, your hot wallet is your money and they're going to be begging and you're going to be saying at what rate. And so you're going to still be using the banking system the way it is. It's just not going to be as physically present as it is today. As a matter of fact, if I ask anybody here where 6 is, they probably don't know where it is. But you trade every day on the Bahamas International Security Exchange, and your transactions are done through your broker, and you have no idea what they're doing. You only look at your account when they send you the statement and it says, oh yeah, the money is there. The money is there and the securities that I own are there. What's going to happen is they're no longer going to need to be your custodian. They are cold wallets. You're going to hold your own assets digitally. You're going to see it on a screen like you see your bank statements on a screen. You're going to see your assets on the screen the same way. And you're going to be able to decide what you're going to do. In the Bahamas today, there's $3.4 billion in M1, earning 0% interest all day, every day. And the banks are lending that money out and making an interest on it. You're not getting anything.
Okay, time is going. We got another couple calls on this. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Morning, Mr. Strachan. Thanks for taking my call. Good morning to Ms. Gardner and good morning to your guests.
Hi.
Morning.
Yeah, are you familiar with the Genius Act or the Genius Bill or whatever that President Trump had passed a few months back?
Yes, 2 months ago.
Does this thing that you're dealing with, does that act that he passed influence this in any kind of way?
It enhances it. America is getting into the digital environment, and they've passed an act for stable coins and other cryptocurrencies to be recognized as a medium of exchange. The problem we have with Bitcoin is the volatility of Bitcoin is too severe for the average guy or for any merchant to be able to use it. So they've come up with coins called stable coins. Stable coins are coins that don't have a significant amount of volatility and are backed by U.S. government notes, bills, bonds, in order for.
I want to get my takes in, but I want to drop something else you could probably address when I finish, right? Does it allow corporations and entities like Facebook and Amazon to have their own currency and to operate because nations have their own currency, the kind of way. So you imagine a corporation with their own currency, they could act like a nation. You could address when they finish, but this is the thing I really want to ask you. You was talking about the legislation that we have here that is world leading or non-existent anywhere else that allows the company that you're dealing with to come here and operate, right? Am I correct so far?
I said that what we have in legislation is first class and top class.
Okay. In other words,
leading in the world, yes.
Okay. Can the company you're dealing with right now, can they go anywhere else in the world and operate under legislation anywhere else in the world, like the legislation that exists here, or is it only here?
No. There are other countries who are following the Bahamas legislation in terms of the DARE Act.
Okay, but you say following the Bahamas legislation.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay. This is the question I want to ask you.
Yes.
The legislation that exists here, right? Who in the Bahamas wrote that? Which Bahamian or who are the Bahamians who sat down and came up with this legislation to govern this thing? Because I remember when we wanted to form IRCA, bring someone in to write the protocols for IRCA. So I want to know, who are the Bahamians, right? Who wrote that law? Who came up with that? Because, see, in my opinion, right, whenever I hear our country is the first to be doing something, right, that no other nation in the world is doing, that is groundbreaking or cutting edge or whatever the case may be, right? I see us as being used as precedents. You understand? And that troubles me because, see, I understand the country I live in. I understand the leaders that we have. You understand? And how inept they are. You understand? So when I hear...
So you think all Bahamians are inept? That's what you're saying?
No, Dwight. I said the leaders, Dwight.
Yeah, but that's not all of us aren't leading the country.
I'm talking about the individuals who will be involved in such a process. My question to you, sir, is who are the Bahamians? Which group, which Bahamian people sat down and came up with this legislation that you're talking about? Because if no Bahamians did it, right, it is an international agenda that we are being used as a nation to push.
Okay.
You understand? And
that might be something we talk with the Securities Commission about.
No, I can direct him.
We got about 30 seconds on that because I got a couple of text messages to respond to.
The existing government and the existing prime minister and his former administration were the ones that passed the DARE Act. So if you want to know who influenced him and who influenced Parliament to pass the act, I suggest you talk to your member of Parliament.
All right, we got a couple messages here. Somebody's asking, if I sell art, do I have to give up the rights to my original art, or am I just trading the value?
That is an interesting question, and it depends on how you structure your token and how you structure your agreement. So everything is done through a token, but there are also smart contracts, and that's a very good question because an artist needs to understand what they control and what they're giving up when they sell their product. So, and what usage of that digital product that they're selling means in the hands of somebody else. So if I go to an art gallery and I buy a piece of painting, I own that painting. If I digitize that painting, I can resell it. It's going to have to legislatively be looked at to determine if I sell my art to somebody else, am I giving that person that's buying my art the right to replicate my art and resell it multiple times? Because in a digital environment, the possibility of that occurring is real. And so I'm very interested, and our laws and our policies are going to have to change in relationship to how we look at things in that regard.
Wow. Okay, that's deep. This texter's asking, can you only use the platform with those on the exchange, or can you deal with others on different exchanges?
You can. Presently, the commission is circulating a paper for discussion And one of the things that they're putting in the regulation, which we agree with, is even if I have somebody else's on my network that I'm communicating with, I need to know who they are, and I need to be able to validate them. I need to be able to ensure that they're doing is key in terms of me being able to know who they are, make sure that they're not doing any funny business in terms of terrorist financing. All of that kind of information and analysis has to be done and has to be recorded and kept, because this digital thing, all it really is, Mr. Strachan, is a faster mechanism for doing business under our existing infrastructure. But we need to ensure existing infrastructure allows us to backtest and test and be slow. This new environment doesn't allow us to do that. It's so quick and so fast. So we have to make sure that in that fast lane, we are also capturing and recording and storing every transaction in the nation. And our technology allows us to do that.
Yeah. All right. So this person is asking, could it happen? Could the system crash? And if it does, what does that mean for your money?
It can. All systems crash, but we have several different locations. That's another part of the Bahamas legislation, that we have to ensure that we have redundancies across our network, so that unlike BPL, when it go off, and if you don't have a generator, you got a problem. Our system is to switch from different locations. It's cloud-based. So if you're, we'll have a server in the Bahamas that stores data and keeps data in the Bahamas. If for whatever reason the server in the Bahamas isn't functioning, our servers are backed up multiple times, and all of that we have to present and ensure it's in place in accordance with the legislation.
Okay.
So you will have significant backup.
Okay, so Julian Brown, we have 1 minute. How do people find out more information, and how do you sign up? Is it ready to go now, or what are the dates we're looking at?
On one side, i.e. the technology, is 2 million lines of code that has been written in terms of the technology. And until we get the license, we are not going to be able to create the product and bring it to market. So we're now completing our application. We've completed our application. We're now waiting for the license to get issued, or any other questions that the commission might want of us in relationship to our application. We're going through that formal process now. I think we won't be as long in terms of getting that license, because we've been licensed by the Securities Commission in 2 brokerage companies for 25 years. So there's no question that we have the ability, and they know who we are, and we have some track record, 25 years with them. So I don't think that there's any issue with us getting the license, but we have to go through the process, and the process has its gateways that we have to pass through, and once we get through gateways, I think we'll get the license. Once we get the license, I'll come back on the show and I can talk more in detail about what we're going to do.
All right, great. And in the meantime, how can we find out more information?
You can go to Bahamas Override website. Sorry, not Bahamas Override. Override, OVRYDE.com website. Tonight I'm gonna you shoot a plug since people are interested. Tonight we were on the record 2 weeks ago. Tonight the engineer is going to be on the record talking about the software, and also one of the directors of Override is going to be on that show talking about the potential. The potential of this opportunity is atomic.
Okay.
We're going to go out of
serious
space.
word. Okay, very exciting. And you can say you're going to be back when we get the license. And we will, I guess, keep everybody posted. Julian Brown, thank you for being here this morning and sharing this exciting news with us. Again, Julian Brown is the CEO of Benchmark Group of Companies, and the joint venture is Bahamas Override. And thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
It may be hot outside, but you can stay cool knowing BOB is backing your summer plans. That's because summer starts with Bank of the Bahamas.
Whether you're paying school fees, planning home improvements, or taking a much-needed vacation, BOB offers the lowest consumer loan rate in the country, and we will beat any rate offered by 1%.
So don't sweat the small stuff. Let BOB help you take care of business so you can get to summer fun. Apply for your BOB summer loan today.
BOB, your bank of solutions.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and more, John Bull Fine, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From the market movers, Commonwealth Bank moving 14,300 shares, closing at 46 cents, unchanged. Vanguard moving 7,900, unchanged at $8. Finco moving 250, closing at $18, unchanged. Consolidated Water down 15 cents, closing at $6.30, down 9 cents, closing at $12.47. BISX All Share Index closing at 3,231.80, down 0.24. That's your market watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Laverne Gardner, that's going to do it for us today. We're out of time. We were to talk about the taxi drivers and their threats of industrial action. If we have time, we'll get into it tomorrow. I see. You know how they work. They don't just not go to work. They like to block up bridges and block entrance to airports and stuff like that. So it's not. They don't do quiet sit-ins and stuff. So that wouldn't be a good thing.
But in the midst of the block-ups, I'm sure they'll navigate a way to get guests in livery to their destination. So anyway, okay.
Wow.
We're out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time. Thank you so much for being here. Will I hear you on any of the shows before Thursday?
You know, Dwight, we have to talk about this off air.
With more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business tomorrow. Enjoy, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green.
Everybody
Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From Spin-Off to Spin Rush to our high-energy slot race tournament, your next spin can turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit Everybody Wins Live to see all the ways you can cash in.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.